This cross comes in. It's dealt with by Bartlett. Only towards the top of the area. Shot is on target, but it's taken in by Barraza.
Good body shape to stay over it. Understanding you're trying to get the dip. Barraza's always in position. There was never really going to challenge him from that distance, generating such little power on it. But better from Charlotte, though, to show that they can break out in transitional moments.
Player down in the middle. It is Petkovic.
He just got hit in the side of the head without even being able to react.
Petkovic, the 22-year-old who gets the start here today, has played just 7 matches this year for Charlotte FC. He's also played 3 more with Crown Legacy in MLS Next Pro, but because of the suspensions, he's been called in.
Yeah, Benteke's just trying to switch the field, and Petkovic doesn't have time to react. Ends up hitting in the back of the head. Just needs a moment to be evaluated, make sure everything's okay.
Near goal.
Shows you just how close it was, and that is so alert from Kalina. If he gets frustrated, throws his hands up, just gives up on it, that ball will find its way into the back of the net, eventually trickling over the line, and had the angle to get behind Kalina and beyond the line. But really well done from the goalkeeper to recalibrate and make an important stop at the very last moment.
Thought for a moment we were going to get a double post there, a la Portland in the playoffs back in, what, 2015, I think that was.
I believe there's now a adult beverage place named the Double Bar. I believe that's right, inside Portland, inside of Providence Park.
Another look at the standings as Nashville have conceded an early goal. Dante Seeley in the 9th minute for Montreal. That's a big early goal there north of the border from where we are today in DC. Long switch of play. This comes off well for DC as they come right back into the attack. Hopkins going to play into the corner. Too much on that, but it was deflected. And it is a corner kick coming again for DC United. This has been a bright start for the home side today.
But the next evolution of DC United is when you get this high pressure and you start to win set pieces and corner kicks, now converting those opportunities into goals. And for DC United, they've just struggled to create expected goal totals. 2nd lowest in Major League Soccer through the course of this season, 42 expected goals.
Hopkins ready to deliver. Plays this up to the back post. Benteke back into the middle. Commanding header away there by Charlotte. Here comes Wilfred Zaha trying to play this one out into space. Vargas was chasing after it, and he'll throw this back in for Charlotte.
That's twice now DC have had a corner kick, and they've looked susceptible to breakouts from Charlotte.
Gonna play down the line. Vargas looking in field. Early on, it's been DC who have come out on the front foot here this afternoon. Vargas went down. There was no whistle, and it's a play on here for Peglo. Now Peltola through the middle.
The press from Charlotte was disjointed. That was easy for DC United to break out.
Zaha commits that foul. Another free kick on the way for DC.
Peltola was the one that got in good pocket of space to be able to turn. Just understood the overcommitment, that Zaha was late to the challenge, and as soon as Peltola feels the contact, win the free kick and break out of the pressure completely for DC.
DC United side that last earned a win, the last game they played in the month of August against New York City. It's just 1 win in 16. Go all the way back to May 31st for that second win as of late for this DC side, and they beat Cincinnati. Here's Pirani. He had a goal and assist in that game against Cincinnati. DC, whether they want to admit it or not, maybe trying to play spoiler down the stretch. They have beaten some playoff teams this year, including Colorado, NYC, and Cincinnati.
DC's looked better under Rene Weiler. They're pressing more. Sometimes it'll lead to opportunities where you can win it higher up the field. That'll certainly help. They've looked more organized defensively. Now look, they come off of a loss 6-0 at home against Philadelphia last match day. So you're thinking, what are you talking about? They look better. Collectively, this DC United side, it's just not a good enough roster right now as it stands. They need a major overhaul in the offseason. But at least this group has looked more together and collective. And these last few games, a lot of those players, though, understand they're playing for their future, and something finally changed that sparked that. It was really just the coaching change that was a catalyst for DC United, sort of waking up and collectively everybody stepping up their performances.
And Dean Smith said last week of that 6-0 win, it was a harsh one. The XG was not too bad as this comes back the other way. It's cut back, going to ground and winning that ball. Here's Charlotte now into the attack, looking to find Zaha. Didn't find him. Byrne collects. Charlotte staying with it here. Bouncing around. It's Benteke who comes away with it.
You're right. It was insanely good efficiency from Philadelphia in their last match. That went 6-0 to the visitors' way. This DC United side. Right now, they just get a really good play from Connor Antley at the back post. Watch number 12. When this shifts over, Antley actually leaves his mark of Zaha to go and pick up the run from Pekovic. If Antley doesn't do this, Pekovic is having an effort towards goal, and Barraza scrambling to get into position.
No Crystal Palace game today in the English Premier League, so a good chance to watch two former Palace players go at it, and former teammates in Christian Benteke and Wilfried Zaha. These two were together for almost 6 seasons there in South London.
We're talking about a move that's gone the other way, right? Patrick Agyemang today for Derby. You were watching that match earlier.
He got the equalizer in that game against Southampton that I believe finished 1-1. Good to see Agyemang score his first goal for Derby County there in the championship.
Well, it depends who you ask. If you're a Charlotte FC fan, you're thinking, I don't know, it's not very good. We missed Patrick Agyemang around these parts, but Idan Tokolamadi, who's taken over as the number 9 after the departure of Patrick Agyemang, has really thrived. And that departure made way for Tokolamadi to really have that number 9 shirt. 11 goals, 4 assists on the season. And keep in mind, 7 of the last 10 games, Tokolamadi has had a goal contribution. It's peaking at the right time.
And Charlotte, remember, still waiting for Pep Biel to get back. Heard from Dean Smith he was close, not good enough to make it today. But it seems like the next couple weeks, come playoff time, he should be available and ready to go for this Charlotte side.
10 goals, 12 assists, all competitions for Pep Biel.
Player Spotlight is presented by Allstate. You are in good hands with Wilfried Zaha. 8 goals, 10 assists. He's really come on as this season has gone along.
We talked about Tokolamadi, Pep Biel. Now you add Wilfried Zaha into this mix as well. That is a formidable front three. Barraza looked like he was out of the box there. Ooh.
Very, very close. Right at the top of his area. The AR had a good look at it. The VAR could also potentially take a look at this. Or it has to fall under the potential categories of if it is eligible to be looked at.
I am very sure that Luis Barraza caught that out of the box, and the play is being held right now in the middle of play because our video assistant referee Lucas Spala, who remember is a center referee, but because he tore his ACL in the Leagues Cup, now is a video assistant referee in only his 2nd game. He's just stopped play in the run-up. This is a potential red card for Luis Barraza. And in the run of play, 100% felt like he caught this outside of the box.
You look at it here. There's plenty of daylight between Barraza and that white line top of the area. Backup goalkeeper on the bench today is Jordan Farr for DC United. he might need to be called into action here very early, as he was last week when he started.
So here's now also the discussion. There's a defender right in the way as well that's shielding, and that's going to be taken into consideration. But Barraza absolutely catches us outside of the box. His fate in this match.
Here's the announcement from Lorenzo Hernandez.
After review, goalkeeper number 13 commits handling outside of the penalty area, resulting in a DOGSO offense. Red card, free kick is the restart.
And there you heard it. Luis Barraza is being sent off just 20 minutes into this game, and more woes for DC United in 2025.
Barraza has been very good this season. This red card is inexplicable. The defender is shielding the ball off. Barraza is overcommitted in his pursuit to come out. The plan was always to overcommit, make the forward slow down, and then backpedal into the box. But you have to have the situational awareness to understand where you are. There's the threat in there from Toklamati. Absolutely, there is the clear and obvious error, and Toklamati knew it right away. Lorenzo Hernandez, he didn't know it right away, but would have been in communication with our video assistant referee, Lucas Spala, who gets in his ear, recommends a review. A denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity sends DC down to 10.
So Jordan Farr will have to come into this game, and DC will have to take a field player off in order to bring Farr into this game. Not the way that Rene Weiler and DC United wanted this start to go after they started very brightly in this game.
Yeah, it was a great start, so this will be really frustrating for Rene Weiler. I believe there's a conversation to be had as well, that the defender who was right there shielding off Toklamati is in position as well, and Barraza without a doubt handles it outside of the box. But there's a discussion to say that the defender was in between the center forward as well. Lorenzo Hernandez deemed it to be a denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity, but that may be the question that Rene Weiler is having right there with Corey Rockwell.
Jordan Farr will come into this game, and the first play he will have to defend is a set piece just outside the area. Looks like Wilfred Zaha is eyeing this one up, as Rene Weiler now with some words of wisdom for Farr, who is about to come into this game, and it appears David Schnegg is exiting, as he was the one that just walked by Rene Weiler. Good official confirmation of that here in just a moment. That is officially the change. David Schnegg is off. A player that has been there week in, week out for this DC United side. He will have to come off as Jordan Farr comes on for just his second MLS appearance. He made his MLS debut just last week in the 6-0 loss against Philadelphia. Former USL Championship Goalkeeper of the Year with San Antonio FC back in 2022. Before coming to DC this year, Farr played his entire career in the USL Championship, the second division of American soccer. Farr organizing here right as he comes into this game. Byrne and Zaha stand around it.
Right now, if you're either Byrne or Zaha, you have to put this on goal and test Jordan Farr, who hasn't handled the ball now in roughly 30 minutes of real time since warm-ups would have ended. Now the nerves coming off the back of conceding 6 against Philadelphia. You've got to test the goalkeeper right now. And if you're one of the Charlotte players, follow up any potential rebound. There's a 3v2 in the box right now for Charlotte.
Zaha right into the wall, bouncing around. DC just able to get this out for now. Vargas knocked down there by Marshall Ruddy, but turned over, and DC will get this all the way upfield. Pretty much the same time that Malanda was sent off last week for Charlotte. It is Barraza who was sent off this week for DC. And Charlotte now get to play a man up as opposed to playing a man down as they were last week.
Instantly, look what DC's done. Now Benteke is 20 yards as the highest play for DC inside of his own half.
The complexion of this game has very much changed. That puts even more pressure now on this Charlotte team to find 3 points today. It's an absolute must. Peltola ahead for Benteke. Benteke holding play up and getting this out wide. Herrera's there, options in the middle. This one's cut back, shooting chance, big deflection out of play. Andrew Privet there for Charlotte. DC looking good even though they're down to 10.
Good spirit and endeavor shown by DC with the willingness to get forward. What a smart run at the top of the box to be able to stop. And that's Pirani trying to pick out the far post. Well read though from Privet. He just slides, puts himself into a position to affect the play. That is a big time breakout from DC. Showing that although they're down a man, they're going to pick their moments to go forward. And they've got the commitment right now while the energy levels are still high. You haven't chased as much yet. You've got to try to go and sell out early.
A third corner kick on the way for DC United. 25 minutes gone. Hopkins, outswinger, headed away by Ream. Chance to hit this from distance. It's blocked again as it comes through by Nathan Byrne, and then Peglow, a heavy touch out of play.
Now these set pieces become even more important for DC, and Hopkins has got to do a better job with that delivery. He's got to be able to beat the first player.
Charlotte right back into the attack. There's Ream and Byrne carrying it forward for Charlotte. Zaha never got to him. Herrera went to ground and won that back for DC. Here's Pirani, broken up by Gianni in the middle. Williamson trying to swing it out wide. It's broken up again. Another player filling in that midfield for Bronico and Westwood is Eric Williamson, the experienced MLS veteran.
If you're Charlotte, now you have to be smart about the tackles that you go into. Renzo Hernandez has given a red, which by the letter of the law would be the way that plays out, even though it feels harsh with Kai Rolls being there defending Toklamati and Barraza being just beyond the line. Nonetheless, that letter of the law says red card there. So now, is there a moment, if there's the benefit of the doubt that needs to be given one way, does DC sort of get that now? Those are just the little things in the back of the mind of Charlotte players, especially tackles in and around their defensive 18.
Looking for the switch of play. It's Wilfred Zaha to collect. Zaha driving forward, cutting in. Zaha's shot blocked. Charlotte able to keep it with Vargas.
You're noticing that the ball's just not being lumped into the box. That's on purpose from Charlotte. They understand how good DC is at defending headers. They feel better going side to side.
Zaha again, going to play it infield. On the turn, Petkovic. Blocked out of play, and a first corner of the game coming now for Charlotte FC.
Zaha wanted Petkovic to set it. He didn't want Petkovic to try to turn and go himself. Zaha created the space, the entry pass. Petkovic just stand back to goal, set it for Zaha on his right foot, and let him have a go.
It's only been a few minutes up a man for Charlotte, but it's still DC with more shots, a higher XG, and more corner kicks in this game. Williamson, the in-swinger, far comes to claim it. His first test since coming into this game.
That's important for Jordan Farr. Last week didn't go the way he hoped. 6 goals for Philadelphia in his MLS debut. Now Jordan Farr is able to settle in, catch the ball. That's so important. DC are going to need him to come up big throughout the course of today's proceedings.
We talked to goalkeeper coach Cody Mizell this week. He said a lot of those were not goalkeeping errors. They were just sliced through by Philadelphia. Still, that can rattle you as a goalkeeper to concede 6.
Oh, without a doubt. There's the human nature element to it when you think it may not be my fault, but you're also the one that's bending over, picking out the ball, and that's 6 different times if you're a goalkeeper.
Amati trying to make that run in behind, but Charlotte turns it back as they look to keep the ball. They'll get plenty of it now, being up a man after Luis Barraza was sent off. Zaha. Zaha getting tangled up. There's no whistle. Charlotte just able to keep it. Zaha back to his feet. Now he's fouled, and Charlotte will have a free kick. Zaha and Herrera coming together, and those two need to be careful. And a red card has been given to Aaron Herrera for what looked to be a headbutt. DC are down to 9.
Herrera absolutely throws a headbutt. Him and Zaha are going back and forth. Herrera throws the headbutt, and then he quickly realizes it. He tries to go and hug Zaha and play it off, but Herrera's had a rush of blood to the head. You're going to see it when these two players get the legs tangled. They're going back and forth. Zaha's frustrated. He's been fouled multiple times. Now watch, Herrera throws the head. Right here. Done. And then Zaha realizes quickly when he's grabbed him by the neck, he's just tried to let go to realize he's not going to do anything to put his future in jeopardy. I don't believe Zaha should see any further punishment. There's no argument to be had. That's absolutely a red card.
Goes from bad to worse for DC United, who are now down to 9 men in this game. And Herrera now makes the slow walk off, and he'll have company in the locker room now, as Luis Barraza will be waiting for him.
Part of defending Wilfried Zaha is you want to be physical with him, because you can understand, you try to get into his head a little bit, you try to get him frustrated thinking about the defender. But what Herrera's done for a player that's massively experienced inside of Major League Soccer, you know you can't do that. There's no argument to be had. It's absolutely a red card. And now what's already been a terrible season, a terrible situation 20 minutes into the game, I don't know, you tell me what's a word worse than that, because it's just gone to that point for DC United, and it's inexcusable.
Played in quickly. Zaha gonna play it infield. Zaha gets it back, curls it and scores it! Wilfried Zaha lift off at DC, 1-0.
Tremendous combination play. Wilfried Zaha with one defender in front of him, a second one shading over to come and provide support. Understands the weakness is through the middle of them, so he's going to play the entry pass in. Keep in mind, just a moment ago, the entry pass was not set to Zaha, and he voiced his frustration about it. Now his teammates listen to him, and this time when it gets set back by Pekovic, it's right into the path of the preferred right foot from Zaha, where the weight is taken off. That is an exquisite layoff and an even better finish from Wilfried Zaha.
One of the hottest players in Major League Soccer right now. A goal contribution in 11 of his last 15 games coming in. Wilfried Zaha has given Charlotte the goal that they have been yearning for against 9-man DC United. Zaha now up to 9 goals this season. Back underway here at Audi Fields. Where does DC go from here?
They got to figure out what formation they're even playing in right now. This is a situation that you do not train for. You might play some training drills in which you play down a couple players, but that's to stress the defense and to understand how you're going to go and provide support and help do that. But there's never an instance where you train for an hour to be down 2 players. Now you're down a goal. For Charlotte, you need to make DC chase. You need to make them run. And you've got to make life miserable for them and continue to press whenever DC have the ball.
Long throw by Antley, looking for Benteke, flicked into the middle. It's Pirani who's closest to it. It comes through for Kalina. Other instances in MLS of teams going down to 9 men. 2018 Hudson River Derby. It was the New York Red Bulls who received 2 red cards, earned a 1-1 draw. Real Salt Lake against Portland in 2016. Real Salt Lake finished with 9 men in a 2-2 draw in that one. Both of those finished in draws. That's got to give DC a little bit of hope today.
Yeah, you tell that to the APL players that are running around chasing right now. Hope? They're hopeful they're going to be able to get on the ball with numbers in the attacking half, let alone the final third.
Another goal for Montreal. They lead 2-0 in that game. Prince Osei-Owusu getting on the board. This is floated over the top. Antley, flag was up for offside against Wilfried Zaha. Nashville now a long way back. They had a big win midweek, taking down Austin FC in the US Open Cup final. The schedule makers not too kind to them. Yeah, you're going to go to Montreal for an afternoon kickoff on Saturday. These are the team benches built by the Home Depot. Well, the players on the bench for DC United, usually you're probably itching to get into a game. I want a penny for their thoughts right now. You can see David Schnegg has now joined them, but he obviously has already come off for Dean Smith and Charlotte. I'm sure all these guys would love to get some time today.
Well, you can see both benches. Players are using towels to just find some shade on the bench. Shows you just how hot it is here today. Roughly 80 degrees Fahrenheit to kickoff, 25 degrees Celsius. And now all of a sudden DC is down 2 players. Like you said, they may be finding shade with those towels, or they may just be trying to hide to not have to go into this game and defend.
An October heat wave has come through. About 80 degrees here today in DC. Not feeling like fall. Here's Byrne. Play it in field. Byrne couldn't get the return ball. Teke plays this out. Pirani taking off the ball, but here's Benteke. Has Peltola going forward. Peltola normally a holding midfielder. We've seen him sprinting forward, and now it's Byrne who comes from behind and commits the foul, and a yellow card will go to the Charlotte FC number 14.
Absolute yellow. Great touch for Matty Peltola, and then the way he goes across the face of Nathan Byrne puts Byrne in that precarious position. You either have to let Peltola go, or you bring him down and you know it's going to be a yellow card. And now that allows all the remaining players from DC United to go and get forward, where they're the biggest threat on set pieces. Christian Benteke will be the one that obviously Jackson Hopkins is going to look for here. There needs to be 1, if not 2 defenders now on Benteke with the limited numbers that DC have.
Another set piece. Hopkins delivers all the way to the back post again. Benteke's header looping out of play. 8 minutes to go until the break. DC United not in a good way right now, but Wilfried Zaha scored just a beauty.
I love the fact that just a moment ago the play was turned by Pekovic. Now this time Pekovic sets it back in the perfect path for Wilfried Zaha. I mean, that is so good to be able to make that adjustment in game just moments before, and then it leads to a goal.
Charlotte has had success in this series. They've won 4 of the previous 7 meetings between the two sides. Trying to make that 5, and in a good spot to do so. 38 minutes in. Montreal's second goal has actually been chopped off due to offside, so it is still 1-0 in that game at Stade Saputo. Service from out wide. The header is out of play. There'll be another corner kick here. Kai Rolls getting in the way for DC. Charlotte a chance to really add to their total here. A win today would move them all the way up into 3rd spot. That's before New York City takes the field tonight in Philadelphia. Also Inter Miami hosting New England. Outswinging ball towards the penalty spot. Rolls is there to head it clear. The first tiebreaker is wins, but never hurt to add a few to the goal differential as well in case it goes to one of the second or even third tiebreakers.
It's absolutely important, and keep in mind for Charlotte, they're coming off back-to-back losses. They needed something to go their way before the playoffs to regain that confidence, and can't think of a much better situation to be on the road, up a goal, up 2 players still inside the first half.
We talked about the confidence that this team, Charlotte, wants to build on the road. Only 5 road wins this season. Chance to add a few more here. 40 minutes gone. Marshall Ruddy keeps it moving. Vargas. Gianni deflected as it comes through. Farr is able to make the save. The match rankings are presented by AT&T. Connecting changes everything, and it's a lot of Charlotte players that have been on the ball. No surprise.
And a lot of the Charlotte wide players. And that was always going to be the game plan, whether it was 9 players on the field like it is now or 11 for Dean Smith. Get the wide backs into the final third as often as possible, but then don't just necessarily cross the ball in blindly. Put yourself in a position to be able to try to affect the play, getting players going side to side.
Yellow card to Jackson Hopkins. The last thing that DC needs is another player sent off.
Oh, it was that raking motion coming down on the knee. Hopkins is lunging, his leg is straight. He is going for the ball, but he does catch Zaha on the knee with the leg extended. I believe the yellow card is the right decision, but you're starting to tick a few boxes of a straight leg above the knee or on top of the knee. I just believe the one decision, that's why play is being held up for our video assistant referee Lucas Spalla to check. I don't believe that this should be sent to review. I think a yellow card is the right decision.
And that's what it will be. Lorenzo Hernandez has gotten the go-ahead from Lucas Spalla. And to progress to the end line. Marshall Ruddy. That cross blocked out. A throw-in coming for Charlotte. We're going to finish this half strong. The second goal would just give them a bit more breathing room, a bit more of a sense of relief as well.
Absolutely need a second goal if you're Charlotte. That would be the sense of urgency if I'm Tim Ream, the captain that's on the ball right now, trying to get his side going for a second goal. 2 goals up, 2 players down. That would be just the right recipe for Charlotte to be able to go into halftime feeling very comfortable.
And Marshall Ruddy looking across. Another header away. Marshall Ruddy again, moves it down the line. It's cut back for Petkovic, who flips it up to the back post. It's Hantley who heads it out of play. It's the Charlotte team with the second fewest shots taken, tied for the third fewest ball entries into the final third. Those stats will be added to, no doubt, in these final 45+ minutes. Corner kick played short, and Zaha. Top of the area, Marshall Ruddy setting up the shot, and he skies this well out of play.
That isn't the one. Not the one you want if you're Dean Smith. You go short on purpose because DC have all the numbers back inside the box, so you're trying to pull 1 or 2 players out, but you're not trying to put your best effort at 35 yards from goal.
This game has taken a turn for the worse for DC United. Those 2 red cards handed out to first Luis Barraza in the 21st minute, and then Aaron Herrera in the 30th minute. And next up for DC United, it'll be a trip to Georgia, take on Atlanta United on decision day, 6 p.m. Eastern time, October 18th. Here's Benteke. Christian Benteke saved. A good look there from the big man up top for DC. And now Peltola is fouled. Free kick on the way for DC United. Still finding some moments here, the home side.
And Zaha, after this effort from the tightest angles of Benteke, Zaha is very fortunate to not pick up a booking. When he tackles from behind, he's late, and absolutely should be a booking. And now there are 4 players. DC United saying that exact thing, that Zaha should have been booked.
Nothing there from Lorenzo Hernandez, but it will be another set piece for Jackson Hopkins.
Benteke's at the back post.
Hopkins goes near post. It's right back towards the corner flag, bouncing out of play. The decision, it appears corner kick. We're into 9 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this half. Hopkins floats it up, back post, headed down, and Kalina is there. Kalina, 35 shutouts in 119 regular season games. 10 clean sheets, though, this season. That is second most in a single season for Kalina.
Former MLS goalkeeper of the year. He always has the ability to impact the game with his shot stopping. Did just a moment ago with Benteke. Good positioning, good hands on the corner. Right now, Charlotte just leaving the door cracked open enough here for your DC. A second goal, though, would really, really hurt DC.
Put right in front. It was Petkovic sliding in. He couldn't get there as Farr scoops it up. Tenke nods it down. Here's Peltola. If you're Rene Weiler, what?
Realistically, where DC sits, second bottom in the entirety of Major League Soccer, you're just going to tell the players you're going to learn about the heart and character of this group. Does Rene Weiler believe his side is going to come back and win this game? Deep down, probably no. He's not going to display that message to the players, but what he is going to find out from the players is who's willing to roll their sleeves up when things get difficult. Hot day, you're out of the postseason, you're down 2 players, down a goal. Whose willingness to go and run and chase and to join in right now with Hopkins? Things like that, things of those natures.
A lot of losing has been done this season by DC. 17 losses. Season ago, they finished just outside the playoff picture in 10th spot in the East, but this is a DC United side that has not made the playoffs since 2019. It's their longest playoff drought since 2008 to 2011, so this will be continuing their longest drought. And just hope that Rene Weiler can turn things around at the start of next season.
There's a long way to go. There's no way of sugarcoating it for DC United. They have to get better. There has to be an overhaul to what they have on their roster right now. Unfortunately for Troy Lesesne and Ali Mackay, it cost them both their jobs. Troy Lesesne, the former head coach, Ali Mackay, the former general manager. They missed out on too many players in signing. Some of the guys that they put a lot of hopes in didn't really pan out. Benteke had 9 goals on the season, but by his standards, not enough. And collectively, there wasn't enough on this roster to really, truly compete in 2025. So this group has to get better in the offseason. And Rene, very big task ahead doing that.
Part of that is just getting through these final 2 matches. Over the top, looking for Pirani. Tangled up there, and the foul goes against Gabriel Pirani. Free kick to Charlotte FC.
Good job from Marshall Ruddy to get back into position. Initially, when the ball played in, Pirani had the positioning, but once it bounced, Marshall Ruddy does so well to regain the position and then absorb contact for the foul.
Zaha trying to weave through there. Nothing on. There's Peltola. He's tripped up there by the turf.
Conversely, Dean Smith will go into the halftime. I don't think he's going to be very well pleased with his team's first half performance. Charlotte haven't been spectacular. Had one real good passage play which led to the goal, but they've been gifted 2 red cards by their opponent and have yet to really make it look like they're going to be ruthless with the goal advantage and the 2-man advantage.
Here's Vargas. Top of the area, Williamson, a heavy first touch, cleared away. And for Barraza and Herrera, their seasons are now over because they only have one more game after this. That's against Atlanta on decision day. A longer offseason than they would have thought. Williamson, quick give and go. This ball put towards goal, and Farr able to bat it out of play. Maybe cheating a bit in fields.
Better from Charlotte, but yeah, Toklamati is trying to go to the back post. This is a great look at it. Watch Toklamati in there. He's trying to battle, go to the back post, but Pekovic is standing at the penalty spot. Zaha 12 yards back, way out of position. It's just not enough numbers crashing forward when you get a 1-2 and a ball at the end line with everybody rushing back towards their own goal.
Hernandez stepping in here. Gianni, one of those big. Williamson will play it short for Zaha.
Williamson's in.
Here is Williamson. He'll connect with Zaha again. Now Vargas. Byrne. Patience again from Charlotte. Quick give and go, looking for Wilfried Zaha. It was Joao Peglo stepping in. This one out for another throw-in.
Good adjustment from Peglo. That didn't happen when Zaha played the ball in and got on the end of the 1-2 for the goal. This time for DC, they learn a bit. Peglo was alert to it and prevents a really good scoring opportunity.
Possession turned over. Here's Farr looking for a clearance. Benteke's that outlet man. Only so much Benteke can do with those balls over the top. He leads Major League Soccer in terms of aerial balls on. Right now, DC need him to do a lot. Gianni. Marshall Ruddy. And now Vargas. Another cross blocked. Vargas tracks it down. Hopkins had his jersey pulled. It's a foul against Charlotte. This is what the game is going to look like with DC down to 9. This is all they can really do is just hunker in.
It's been good grit and determination shown by DC with the situation at hand right now. 2 individual mistakes, one from Barraza first in the 20th minute, the second from Herrera in the 31st minute, and now all of a sudden you go, well, the players on the field, they're necessarily left picking up the pieces from the mistakes of their teammates, but it's been pleasing to see the commitment from DC when they really could drop the heads with the situation looking so precarious.
Plenty of space for Charlotte to utilize, and they will use it coming up fields. Zaha tries to cut it in. It's Williamson, and Zaha commits the foul. Peltola goes over, and DC will look to take this to the end of the first half.
Great recovery. Zaha did get a little bit of the ball, but there's a lot of frustration visibly being shown from Zaha. That's not what you want from one of your leaders right now. In this situation, you need him being the vocal one to keep everybody going, not everybody trying to make sure to get in his ear to keep his head.
We have reached the break here from Audi Field in DC. If you've never seen a game with the team down to 9 men, well, here you go, and there's still 45 minutes to go.
I promise it's not as exciting as you think. It's a lot of defending from DC. Charlotte right now need a second one early in the second half.
Zaha scored a spectacular goal in the 33rd minute. It's Charlotte who has the lead here in Washington, D.C. Stay tuned for halftime.
The next chapter of Audi performance is here. With Quattro all-wheel drive, you can feel. And interiors refined to elevate every mile. One thing's clear: performance never goes out of style.
Lowe's knows running a home or business can add up fast. And with a free MyLowe's Rewards membership, your earnings add up fast too. Earn points toward MyLowe's money, get member-only deals, and free shipping. Join for free and get more with Lowe's.
It's all happening too fast.
What, you nervous about the wedding?
No, it's the house, dude. We got approved.
Bro, don't stress. This house, it's the one.
Speaking of the one, caterer. We need a caterer.
I got something that you never heard. Sounds sweet like a dessert. Ice cold, got you saying burn. Not the same, but you wish you were. Indie grind stepping, from a pole repping. Elkins with the ops, I'm a little weapon. Slide, bounce, go and get down. Come on, do it now, do it proud, just bless yourself. Sound good for your health.
It doesn't matter how you get there, as long as you rep your club in style.
All right. Same thing?
Yup. This is our year.
You know, if getting AT&T's best deal on the new iPhone 17 Pro without needing the most expensive plan taught me to be a good call. So how about we try something that's timeless?
Oh, yeah. Good call.
Ooh.
Get the all-new iPhone 17 Pro on us. Designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet. Most expensive plan not required.
2, please.
Make that 3. With the Capital One Saver Card, you earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment. 3% cash back on salty, 3% cash back on sweet. You know this movie's 3 hours, right?
Good call.
Are you in this one?
Yeah, I'm in this one. Get your tentacles off my 3% cash back. Oh, perfect delivery. Oh, what's in your wallet?
Welcome to the Audi halftime report from Audi Field here in Washington, D.C. Charlotte leads DC United 1-0 at the break. DC United down to 9 men. Show the highlights from the first half. Second meeting of the season between Charlotte and DC. Last home game of the season for DC. And they were the team that started on the front foot with this early chance.
Less than 90 seconds into the match, this tiptoed along the line, and Kalina does well to do just enough to keep it out at the last moment. And then this is where the game really changes. 21st minute, Barraza comes out. Toklamati's bearing down. Now the defender's in position. Bartlett is trying to hold off the defender, but there's the shot right there. Luis Barraza handles it outside the box. Not caught in real time, but our video assistant referee, Lucas Schwala, does. Gets in the ear of Lorenzo Hernandez. They go to review, and the decision is a red card for a denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. DC, though, down a man, didn't look like they were going to give up very easily. They get this effort that Barani has eyes for the far post with. Andrew coming in with Adilson Malanda suspended today, does well to affect it. This is where it goes from bad to worse, right on the half-hour mark. Aaron Herrera headbutts Zaha in the chest, a la Zinedine Zidane in the World Cup final, and he sees the same outcome as Zidane. So with that, now it's down to 9, and Wilfried Zaha just moments later. Lovely combination play. Pekovic sets it for Zaha expertly. A wonderful finish. Wilfried Zaha, he continues his fine form, makes it 1-0 in the 33rd minute. Play out that way for the remainder of the first half.
A lot of defending, and yet DC United stopped opportunities to find that breakthrough, a higher XG.
Even down to 9, there was an effort from Benteke where it went really tight from an angle, and it was a good save from Kalina. DC United are up against it. This is almost an insurmountable task, but that foot is still in the door. It's still ajar just a little bit because Charlotte have been inefficient in the final third.
The race to the Golden Boot is presented by Audi, the official automotive partner of Major League Soccer. It is Sam Surridge who is in action right now. He has some work now to catch Lionel Messi and Denny Bouanga, who are in spots 1 and 2.
Nashville SC needs Sam Surridge like they needed him Wednesday night winning the U.S. Open Cup. Surridge will need to help spark a comeback for Nashville, down 1-0 at the half, but Surridge always a goal threat. He can be quiet for 89 minutes, and he'll still find a way to score a goal like he has 22 times this season.
The race is heating up for the league's top scorers as Messi, Bouanga, Surridge, and others are sprinting towards the checkered flag to see who takes home the coveted MLS Golden Boot, presented by Audi. At the break from D.C., Wilfred Zaha to give Charlotte a 1-0 lead at the half.
At IHG Hotels and Resorts, you can explore the neighborhood or live like a local. Unplug for the day or plunge into a long weekend. With IHG's 20 hotel brands, you can guest how you guest.
Beautiful, isn't it?
It's exquisite. I could never.
With Walmart's express delivery, you could, as fast as an hour.
Who knew? Who knew?
Interesting. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
At RBC Wealth Management, we know you have ideas for your future. Ideas that can have you enjoying the moment or owning the moment. They can bring investment opportunities or opportunities to invest in yourself. Ideas that can have you doing good or feeling great. From following your passion to making your passion work for you. What ideas will you bring to life? Know more with RBC Wealth Management.
Listos? You know the drill. No, the drill. That's not going anywhere.
Are we gonna practice or what?
A superior smooth taste worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
Ready? MLS is game on. Dolce? On. Stars on.
Kevin Sullivan, the history maker. Messi!
30,000 friends? On. Rivalries on.
Red Bull New York versus New York City.
MLS, this is our soccer. Game on.
Welcome back to the Audi halftime report. 1-0 to Charlotte. These fans have seen a spectacular goal scored by Wilfred Zaha in the 33rd minute to give Charlotte that early advantage. What is to come today? Match day 38. Next game up will be Dallas playing host to the LA Galaxy. Dallas, one of the hottest teams in MLS right now. Then the 7:30 slate gets going where Philadelphia can clinch the Supporters' Shield.
That's a big moment there. There's also a big one in the Eastern Conference, Orlando and Columbus. And then you look later on, the Cascadia Cup, Seattle, Portland. That'll be exciting. And then the Rocky Mountain Cup, Real Salt Lake and Colorado Rapids take off as well. And then the nicest rivalry as well, Minnesota United and Sporting Kansas City. All sorts of great matchups throughout the course of tonight and tomorrow.
The rewarding performance is presented by Capital One. This was moments after DC went down to 9. Wilfred Zaha.
Just before this as well, there was a similar passage of play in which Zaha played the ball into Pekovic. Pekovic turned, and Zaha was upset. Pekovic shows that he learned from this moment. He sets it back for Zaha perfectly. Right amount of weight. Zaha gets his feet sorted, able to. That moment right there is the difference, and you can see what it means to the two players getting on the same page at the right time.
A beautiful goal scored by Wilfried Zaha, and second half he'll have plenty of opportunities.
With Zaha being out wide, he should get isolated and he should look to go at Connor Hanley every single time that he gets the ball. Zaha, one of the most dangerous and prolific goal scorers on this team for Charlotte FC. The more he's on the ball, the better that is for the attack.
At the break from Audi Field in Washington, D.C., Charlotte looking for 3 points in D.C.'s final home match this season. Second half is next.
Hey, play for an ultra?
Don't forget, there's ultras on the line.
Woo! I didn't.
Michelob Ultra, superior like thee.
At AT&T, we guarantee our network, so you can focus on what matters most.
Hey, Mama. You remember when you taught me how to fish? Yeah, you were the best teacher. Yeah, feeling a little nostalgic right now, that's all.
Staying connected matters. That's why in the rare event of a network outage, you'll automatically get a bill credit for a full day's service. That's all part of the AT&T Guarantee, brought to you by America's largest wireless network.
Hey, did you just like a photo of me from 3 years ago?
Goldfish have short memories. Be like goldfish.
I didn't know you studied abroad.
Good is good enough for some, but not for you. Because you know there's nothing like traveling the world with the largest curated global hotel program and having a place to land with the largest global airport lounge network. Nothing like having dining benefits at over 10,000 Resi restaurants and having access to unique experiences worldwide. For a life like no other, you need a card like no other. There's nothing like Platinum.
Stop it. Can we stop for food? No, hay comida.
The next chapter of Audi performance is here. With Quattro all-wheel drive, you can feel and interiors refined to elevate every mile. One thing's clear, performance never goes out of style.
Beautiful, isn't it?
It's exquisite. I could never.
With Walmart's express delivery, you could, as fast as an hour.
Who knew? Who knew?
Interesting. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
Welcome back to Washington, D.C. This broadcast of MLS on Apple TV is presented by T-Mobile. Some of the sights around town, and one of the sights here at Audi Field sees Charlotte FC score a beautiful goal through Wilfried Zaha against nine-man DC United. Yes, that is right, nine-man DC United. 2 red cards handed out in the first half. The Sporticam is brought to you by Lowe's. Visit Lowe's for the ultimate assist on your next project. These fans coming out in support of the final home match of the season.
Good for the supporters coming out to be able to support. Last home game of the season for DC United, and this season has not gone the way anybody at the club would have wanted or any supporter would have hoped for. Nonetheless, DC United supporters still trying to make it a lively atmosphere inside of Audi Field. Fair credit to them.
The standings in the Supporters' Shield. Philadelphia can clinch the Supporters' Shield today with 3 points. They take on New York City. There are some other teams, though, waiting in the wings should Philadelphia slip up. Cincinnati, San Diego, Vancouver, they have a game in hand as well. The second half here from Audi. Charlotte looking to add to the goal total against nine-man DC United. Just trying to home. Sure, a spirited halftime team talk from Renee Weiler, the manager of this DC side. And we are set to go for the second half with Jamie Watson. I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks so much for being with us. Starting off match day 38 in Major League Soccer from DC. There is the whistle, and we are underway. 45 more minutes from Audi Fields. These teams met in Charlotte back in July. A 2-1 win for Charlotte FC. Pep Biel scored a brace on the day. Pirani scored one in the second half as well to pull DC back in it. It wasn't enough, though. Now the Charlotte team comes on the road looking to build some confidence away from home as they go into the playoffs.
And Charlotte haven't been great this season on the road.
This one back. Nobody there at the top of the area. That's where missing 2 players on the field is going to hurt this DC side.
And then here's the transitional moments for Charlotte. They need to try to go quickly while there's 2 players up for DC United.
Just 6 players defensively in the picture at the moment as Pirani races back into position. Here's Marshall Ruddy trying to play this down the line. It's cut back and it's deflected out of play. Corner kick on the DC United.
No, so it's obviously very, very difficult, and it comes down to understanding the situation of where the biggest threat is, and at times having to just take a little bit of decision making into your own hands of when to step out.
Vargas fires it in near post. This one bouncing, and referee did not see that go over the line. It stays in play as Antley keeps it moving.
Charlotte need to work the ball as fast as possible, side to side. This isn't about getting on the ball and 2 and 3 touches.
Vargas rolling it in. It's Jordan Farr to come and claim.
You get opportunities like that where if you get Toklamati running across the face of the goalkeeper, it's a simple tap in because the ball's moved side to side, and DC now they've got a player down inside the box.
They've already used 1 substitution window, and that is Joao Peglo, who is down. That substitution window was used to bring Jordan Farr into the game to replace David Schnegg. If Peglo's not able to continue for DC.
You'd have to think so because of the limited substitution windows. If you're going to make the changes, you might need to add another one to this other than just Jared Stroud. Peglo is down here at the bottom of machine, number 7. He's even struggling at this moment in time. I wonder if it happened before then.
I think it was on that last attack. He was slow to get back into the play and in obvious discomfort now.
Yeah, well spotted from that other breakout at the other end when it was cut back. You go sit in the locker room for 15 minutes, and then within the first 60 seconds, there's a full-out sprint. Peglo might have had something happen during the midst of that he was able to at least get back for and be a warm body in the box to try to present some pressure, but truth be told, he was waiting for the ball to go out to be able to sit down and then receive some treatment.
Stroud still preparing to come on. This is the win probability. I don't think we've done a lot of games this year. I don't think we've seen numbers this staggering.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's always a chance, Jamie.
3.1% chance.
And the sub will be made. Jared Stroud coming into the game to replace Joao Peglo. Peglo in his first season here in Major League Soccer. He's played all across Europe, even time in his native country of Brazil. Just 3 goals, 4 assists this year for Peglo. Stroud comes in, coming off his best assist season a year ago for Stroud. He does not have a goal contribution this season.
Bit surprised to see only 1 sub here. Obviously this was not planned, but now that this is the second of the 3 windows used, if there's going to be any more substitutions, albeit from a head injury and the concussion sub, there's only 1 window for 3 subs left for DC United.
Cross fired in, nothing there for DC United. Zaha trying to carry it out. And DC still staying with it here. Down a couple of men, but they'll have a throw-in. Now it's Antley who is shaken up here.
Obviously, whatever he said, got the assistant referee Ricardo Ocampo on the far side to laugh. I mean, it's good that Antley can find some humor in something going on right now.
Long throw. Looking for Bartlett there at the near post. Zaha helping it out. He spins to the ground. And Lorenzo Hernandez will bring this back. It's Antley who is down again. And now if Antley is potentially shaken up and not able to continue on, this would be the final substitution window where you have to make 3 subs, although Antley's getting back to his feet here.
Yeah, it's the right arm of Zaha as he's clearing it. Watch it just come back and catch Antley, and you're not expecting it. You catch it right in the solar plex. That is just a painful one that Antley needed a moment to get back to, but it looks as though he'll be fine from that.
Charlotte will get more and more time on the ball. Possession numbers well in favor of the team in blue today, 63%. And yet the expected goal still a little bit higher for DC United. Toklomati, he barely called his name from an attacking standpoint today. Idan Toklomati, who's been so prolific with 11 goals, 4 assists, especially as of late, has been one of the key contributors.
It needs to be said, it hasn't been convincing. It hasn't been great. It hasn't even been particularly good from Charlotte. The expected goal total sitting at 0.28 right now. DC United have been down a player since the 21st minute, down 2 players since the 30th minute. And the goal came after the second player. But since then, Charlotte have done next to nothing to really truly threaten DC United in the box. They need to be more ruthless right now.
Gianni trying to whip this ball in. It's headed away. Charlotte will go at it again with Vargas. Marshall Ruddy coming forward. He'll get end line, and he'll earn his side a corner kick. Hopkins going to ground and deflected out.
Getting to the end line, but Hopkins with him step for step, and even then there were 2 DC United center backs right in the middle of the 6-yard box that were going to be able to affect the play.
Williamson touches it in field. Williamson, top of the area. It's Zaha now. Zaha trying to weave his way through. Another corner kick for Charlotte.
It just feels a bit complacent from Charlotte right now. Not fast enough. Sharper movement, quicker entry passes into the box, more decision making that's done at a sharper speed of play.
Rick Williamson standing over it again for Charlotte. Zaha, Marshall Ruddy. Here's Vargas. Vargas finding space, looking to cut it in field on 2 black shirts. It's one back again. Karen Vargas trying to drive it across. A deflection there at the near post. Was one of those center backs. And it'll be another corner kick for Charlotte. He's coming with more quantity now.
Finally, somebody from Charlotte having a bit of endeavor to be able to just go and try to create something. Well done from Bartlett from a DC United perspective to block the cross, but Vargas is the first player this half that's looked like he's going to try to create something and then look to combine with speed.
Top of the area. Driving in fields, looking to cross. It's headed right in the air and far. Far looking for the quick distribution over the top. Right now, Christian Benteke is being used more as a player to win defensive headers than to be high up the field and win headers going the other way. Put out of play. More strong defending there from Kai Rolls. Longer this game stays at 1-0. DC will have to feel fairly confident. The Matchday Live scores presented by AT&T. Montreal still Nashville 1-0. More games to come later tonight. Zaha taking off the ball. This ball will trickle out for another Charlotte throw-in. Zaha was in an offside position. That ball came back to him too quickly.
There's a good look at Corey Rockwell, one of the most experienced assistant referees United States referees has ever produced. Yep, absolutely right. Good work from our camera crew. Rockwell in his 442nd game as assistant referee. There's Zaha, switch side, trying to replicate what Kerwin Vargas did just a moment ago. Dribbling at defenders. Need a little bit more of that from Charlotte in the final third and around the box.
Kalina had to be careful there. A bit awkward at the back with Andrew Privet. It's the last thing Charlotte needs. The last couple games for Charlotte and those two losses, Dean Smith said game changed on a couple of moments. Well, now the game has changed in a moment on the other side, going in their favor. Yet they still just have the one goal. There's Zaha. Charlotte looking for more.
A second goal would be the backbreaker for DC. If you're Charlotte, you have to know that, and you have to play with that sort of urgency to go and chase it.
Zaha. Every time Zaha gets on the ball, it's two black shirts to close him down. So much time on the ball for this Charlotte side. Ream. Gianni has to go low with it. It's broken up and cleared out to midfield for a Charlotte throw-in. And a substitution will be coming. End of the day for Kerwin Vargas. It will be Liel Abada to enter this game for Charlotte FC.
Abada will be really good at getting isolated and going at defenders 1v1. This is the perfect type of match to be able to get Abada in. Confidence-wise, he's only got 5 goals, 2 assists on the season, yet this is the kind of match where you expect him to be able to have a goal contribution.
Liel Abada's last goal contribution was in Leagues Cup back in August. Before that, you have to go all the way back to May when he had an assist against Toronto FC. Zaha will go again. Zaha finding space in fields. That pass was in between 3 blue shirts and then eventually turned over. Pirani, nothing. And taken back by Charlotte. Gianni coming forward. Gianni gets it out wide. Marshall Ruddy coming in, chipping this up back post. Header back into the middle. Gianni couldn't get there quick enough again. Williamson for Zaha, quick feet. Zaha goes over, it was all ball. Coming back the other way, it's Hopkins. Now Peltola looking for other options. He was bumped and fouled. For the fans here at Audi Field to cheer about.
It's been great spirit being shown by this DC side. Zaha felt as though he did enough to get his body in between Antley. Hopkins here with another last-ditch effort. It's been really committed from DC. Two things can be true. Charlotte looked comfortable, like they're going to win this game, and they know it, and DC know it. And also, secondly, it's been poor from Charlotte while they're up 2 players. You can look like you're going to win the game right now in this situation, and also it not be good enough. They don't have to be mutually exclusive. There should be more from the Charlotte side than what we're seeing.
And a yellow card will be given here for that foul. That's Jared Stroud.
That swipe right there, Privet. That is exactly what the yellow card is for. Right decision. No need from Stroud.
The substitute now into the book. Privet is being tended to now because there was a yellow card. Off-field treatment rule does not apply. Privet looks to be in some pain here.
I think that happened with Privet when he was planted and he got kicked. His ankle rolled. His plant foot was down. All the weight was on it. And then Stroud kicks at the leg, and that's where the ankle rolled. Watch Privet's left foot. All the weight is planted, and the kick happens, his ankle rolls. That's why he's got that look right there. Been there before. It's incredibly painful. It'll be one of those that Privet will be able to get up and immediately put power on it and be able to walk, or he's going to get up and realize it hurts really badly, and it could be the end of the day for Privet.
Remember, Adilson Malanda already out this game due to red card suspension. Well, MLS Countdown coming your way tonight at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, when the crew get you ready for the rest of this crucial match day 38 in Major League Soccer. And the only place to watch it is right here on MLS Season Pass. Another corner kick on the way for Charlotte FC. These are really starting to add up now. This will be corner number 9.
For a majority of these corner kicks, Charlotte have just continued to go short, understanding that DC love to be able to contest aerial duels. There's a numbers advantage for Charlotte if they go short.
Williamson, this time he goes into the box. Header towards the top of the area. Petkovic comes to claim. Now Byrne. Back for Petkovic.
DC only down 1 player right now with Privet still off the field.
Zaha.
And Privet's back on now.
Good news for Charlotte FC. Already having to dig into their depth with Malanda out due to the red card suspension. Here's Williamson. Oh, good turn there. Gianni gets it out wide. Zaha to the end line, and well done by Bartlett to usher this one out of play for a goal kick. Even with the situation, players on the field in DC, they're still playing hard, and they're still keeping themselves in this game. It only takes one moment, and this game is back level.
Happy of the 2 managers right now be Rene Weiler. He's seen his side roll his sleeves up, fight, dig in. Keep in mind, the 9 players on the field right now for DC are not the players that made the mistake to be sending off. That was Luis Braza, that was Aaron Herrera. Those players are sent off. Everybody else has had to suffer the consequences of it. Yet the DC players have shown their willingness to compete and outfight Charlotte right now. Charlotte up 2 players. This game beyond reach, and that is a real issue if you're Dean Smith. I'd be very frustrated right now if I was Dean Smith at the lack of urgency from this side.
Abada trying to play it infield. Abada gets it back, and his shot is just wide. The substitute trying to make an impact here.
That's better from Charlotte. Abada spent plenty of this match on the sideline watching his side be really lackluster in the final third. So the ball gets played in, set, much like the first goal. This time Abada, his shape of his body is facing outward, so he needs to try to side of the post. Unable to get enough on it, but it's the right shot selection from the way in which his body was facing.
It's the players that come off the bench for Charlotte that could make an impact in this game. He's the only sub that has been brought into this game. It's quite a young bench for Dean Smith and Charlotte FC today. Here's Tim Ream, player called into the U.S. men's national team for their upcoming friendly coming on Friday in Austin, Texas. Abada. Here's the square ball. Williamson tried to return it to Abada, just didn't go quick enough. Ream goes to claim and will restart again. Abada just to flip it over the top. It's broken up. Marshall Ruddy trying to bring it in again. Petkovic couldn't cut it back on rolls. And has another corner kick.
It's not fast enough decision-making wise for Marshall Ruddy. The opportunity was there a second before to play it in to Petkovic. He doesn't play it. Does Marshall Ruddy? The second time he does it, then he fizzes the ball in towards Petkovic. Bouncing makes it very difficult to try to cleanly turn with it.
10th corner kick of the game for Charlotte. Again, it's played short. Williamson looking for Jaquil Marshall Ruddy. Zaha. It's Petkovic. His shot is taken in by far. It looked like Zaha wanted that one back again.
It was Zaha who started the movement off and then continued it. Petkovic was just in the way. Both players saw the space and recognized it. And to get just a toe bash off as the final product, that's what's the most frustrating thing. You finally get a clever 1-2, and best you can get is a lunging effort with your toe.
Even with just this one goal, it would be enough for the 3 points that would currently take them up third place, Charlotte. And still before New York City and Inter Miami play tonight. Abada. Marshall Ruddy. Cutback ball will be Charlotte's 11th goal kick, or pardon me, corner kick of the match. Charlotte really in no rush to take these either. Played. Here's Zaha going right. Saved. Rebound is wide. Flag is side. Wouldn't have counted anyway. A couple of decent looks though for Charlotte.
Good combination play again from the corner. Abada was trying to toe the line. Really good positioning from our assistant referee Corey Rockwell. So even if this follow from Petkovic would have gone in, the flag was up. Perfect positioning from the assistant referee.
This is the last thing that DC need. That is Jordan Farr needing. And sub coming is Knotten entering the game. Well, this might be held for just a moment.
Even if you hold the sub, if you're Rene Weiler, and if that's your backup goalkeeper, that's got an issue.
It's Bartlett, who is also down, a center back.
Don't have many other options, but Bartlett has really put a shift in and a performance in today.
This exclusive NetCam replay is brought to you by T-Mobile.
It's a good reaction save. You can see Farr hopping right up. He knew right away when that left the foot that was going to go wide, all for nothing as it was offside on the initial entry pass, but a good view of what Jordan Farr, the effort he put into that action.
Now, 3 subs will come on here. Lucas McNaughton, Dominic Badji, and Caden Clark all entering for DC United. This last substitution window of the game for Rene Weiler with 20 minutes to go. Christian Benteke will come off the field. Last appearance at home this season for DC United. There's also Gabriel Piran. Players, the top part of the field, now coming off the field. I wonder what the future could hold now for Christian Benteke here in Washington, D.C.
He's under an option year, so you wonder going forward if the commitment is there from both player and from the club. He's certainly proven himself in this league. He's been a menace for years in Major League Soccer. And
back pass, it's Jordan Farr, who was alert to it and able to put it out of play. Nice catch by the fan.
Great hands. There we go. Here's the header from Jordan Farr. Or excuse me, the header back to Jordan Farr. Oh, we just missed it. We were hoping to see the catch. That was a great display of hands there in the stands. Fans are finding ways to entertain themselves as DC are, what, 15, 20 yards inside of their own half, setting up their low block. Players, but with 2 fresh players, and especially Dom Badji, who has tons of speed now in the field, it's only 1-0. You get one transitional moment to get Badji to have a go and chase something down. The door's still open for DC.
Marshall Ruddy taking off the ball, throwing for Charlotte. Flag up for offside. Marshall Ruddy, the same thing just happened on the other side of the field.
I mean, it's just not good right now from Charlotte. Up 2 players. And it's very difficult because DC have just been resigned to the fact of sitting in and making it very difficult to play through. But if I'm Dean Smith, I would be very upset with the real lack of quality that I'm seeing from my team in the final third. Up 2 players to create opportunities and to present.
Foul in the middle, free kick will go the other way. Charlotte, last game of the regular season will be against the Philadelphia Union. Could they be Supporter Shield winners at that point? If they win today, they will clinch. They could clinch in other ways if some teams lose, if they can still pick up a point. There's a few other scenarios. Regardless, Charlotte will have at least seeding to play for. As another sub will be coming in here, Nikola Petkovic. His day is over. It is Archie Goodwin coming into this game for his 5th MLS appearance.
Petkovic supplied the service on the Zaha goal brilliantly. He has put a real shift in today, and he gets his final 5th to rest. And Archie Goodwin looks like he's going to come in and try to just be another player with some energy, some fresh legs to be able to run, try to go and support Toklamati up top.
Marshall Ruddy. Taking off the ball, DC looking to stream forward. Badji's up ahead. Peltola's leading the charge. That's Zaha going into the challenge, and Zaha will see a yellow card.
Zaha got the benefit of the doubt in the first half where he should have gotten the yellow card on Peltola, but he doesn't. This time he's chasing back. Peltola in between the ball. This is stopping a promising attack. It's absolutely booking. Right decision from a referee. Now DC with a set piece. 15 minutes ago.
Big opportunity now. DC trying to get this game back level as Peltola and Zaha still exchanging pleasantries here.
Dare you to read his lips on air.
No.
That didn't look very friendly, that conversation.
Hopkins, the youngster, gets the captain's armband after Benteke goes off. He'll take the free kick. Charlotte eventually able to get this away. Here's Zaha again. Zaha trying to work his way upfield. And the whistle will bail him out here, and Charlotte as well.
Antley goes and leaves a little one in here on Zaha. Zaha strong enough though to fight through it, quality enough to get around him. Wasn't the first one, it was going to be the second one on Antley.
Here's Marshall Ruddy carrying forward again for Charlotte. Charlotte desperate for a second goal as we are into the final 14 minutes of this game plus stoppage time.
I agree with you. They are desperate for it, but they're not showing a desperation to go and chase it. Now you get your reward. You're up a goal. You're up 2 players. You don't have to be desperate to score, but right now you just saw at the other end, DC were able to get a free kick, clip a ball in, and there's a moment of panic. DC are one of those set pieces away. They're one transitional moment, one mistake away from being able to go and get an equalizer. And Charlotte right now, they've got to show more willingness to go at a speed of play in the third.
Trying to return it there for Zaha, getting close. And the flag is up for offside. Back to DC United it goes, so we're still looking for just that one moment to get this game back on level terms.
There's no reason the door should be open the way that it is, but DC have fought and have shown a resiliency to be able to keep that door open, and Charlotte have done nothing to slam it shut.
There's no question Dean Smith will take this result if they can get it. Here comes Charlotte going forward again. This one put towards Jordan Farr. That was a tough ball for him to handle, but he did fairly well with it as he puts it out of play. Player comparison is presented by Celsius Pure Passion and Maximum Energy with zero sugar. Benteke, Zaha, the former Crystal Palace teammates, 3 shots each. Although you're Wilfred Zaha, you're up 2 men, and you've had almost 70% of the
players is the reason you tune in to watch those 2 men right there and the excitingness they can create. Christian Benteke was able to off most of those efforts that he was able to get were down a player. And then Zaha, he gets the goal, so that's the life of a forward. You still have a game winner to name right now, but still needs to be creative and more impactful in the final third for Charlotte.
Zaha trying the ire of the fans. Flicked in field, it's Marshall Ruddy. One touch to settle, now he goes for power. And he just clips the outside of the post, it appears. It'll be out of and a goal kick back to DC.
For most of the second half, when Marshall Ruddy has got the ball, he's just gone sideways and backwards. This time, he finally takes a positive touch forward. He strikes it, and that does not miss by much going to the far post. He instantly claimed there was a deflection. Let's see if he's right. It does look like Kyrol's got a little something to it.
Jordan Farr taking his time to put this back into play. It's DC just moment. Delivered out wide. Abada coming forward. Liel Abada. Cross is deflected. Stroud. Ten minutes to go. Charlotte wanting to add on to this advantage. 3 points they will put in their back pocket if they can claim them. Cut back. Toklomati looking centrally and broken up. McNaughton there this time. Toklomati down the line. Marshall Ruddy tries to cut it in again, and nothing on. Here comes DC forward. Baji. Challenge put in by Williamson. And Eric Williamson into the book. Former Maryland Terrapin, Alexandria, Virginia native, back here in the DMV area. Into the book now.
Williamson does win the ball, but he goes through the back of the plant leg of Baji, and that's where the foul comes into play. Williamson can't believe it because he did win the ball, and that's his main argument here. But Lorenzo Hernandez saying the way in which he did it was he came through that back right leg that was planted from Dominic Baji. That was the decision in the end.
Hopkins will come forward to take this again. He'll just roll it into play. Peltola. Knotted down. Nobody there for DC. Peltola trying to stay with it. Now a chance in transition. Far is off his line. He expertly plays it into the midfield. Now he has to race back. Good work for DC to keep the ball. Trying to catch the goalkeeper off his line was Jared Stroud. And Kalina will see this roll out of play. DC, they're right there.
Great reading of the play. One end from Jordan Farr to come out, and then an interesting decision from Stroud to just try to go for it.
There has been a goal scored by Sam Surridge in Montreal. That game is now 1-1, nearly to stoppage time in the second half. This is a look at how the East is shaking up right now, with Charlotte into that third spot before a few more games tonight.
And also Ty Surridge second in the Audi Golden Boot race. Bawanga just one behind Lionel Messi.
Zaha. Toklomati. Here's Marshall Ruddy. Charlotte will go again. Abada. Williamson. Get to the end line. The cross only to no one in particular as Peltola brings it down. Now is to look for a way out. Peltola and Zaha. Zaha commits the foul. Zaha on a yellow card. Just be careful going into these challenges.
This is really good for Matty Peltola. As soon as he feels the contact, he goes down, knows he's going to win the free kick. Really, really smart from the Finnish international.
Farr taking his time to put it back into play once again. Trying to limit those opportunities for Charlotte going into these latter stages of the game. Zaha, can hear it from the crowd every time he gets on the ball. Charlotte up to about 72% possession. The expected goals, though, still in favor of DC United today.
Wild. What a wild statistic that DC United, down to 9 men after 30 minutes of play, have a higher expected goal total than Charlotte. That is very worrisome if you're Charlotte.
Out of play, it's a corner kick, and Corey Rockwell knocked into the corner flag, so he will actually try to fix the flag before this corner's taken.
Anybody that knows Corey Rockwell knows he's like the nicest human being alive. So, of course, when he knocks over the corner flag, he's going to pick it up and put it back on.
Corner kick number 12 for Charlotte.
And he can laugh at himself, too. I appreciate that.
Williamson taking his time. Touched into play. Marshall Ruddy. Here's Zaha. Turns it out wide. Ream. Here's Gianni. In for Zaha. Wilfred Zaha, I'm sure would love to score another goal to silence this crowd here at Audi Fields.
Boos are only going to be motivation for Wilfred Zaha.
Every time Zaha's on the ball. Here's Williamson. And Gianni stepping forward. Gianni weaving his way through. Shot is blocked. Toklamati. It's Gianni again. Abada cuts it in, plays it off. Williamson felt the pressure coming from behind. It's in for Marshall Ruddy, who puts it back post. The header is back into the middle. Archie Goodwin was there for Charlotte, and he is still down in the goal. Out of play, throw in DC. Goodwin just trying to throw his body at it.
Goodwin knows next to nothing about this. He's in the right position. This is a great little clever ball played through, and Goodwin is in the right position, but this just gets shot across by Marshall Ruddy, and Goodwin was just too fast. Now he's trying to track back and get something on his end effort there, and it just really is nothing that's gone right in the final third, and in particular the final ball for Charlotte tonight.
Subs here for Charlotte. Bill Tuiloma will come into that back line. It will also be Koulibaly coming into this game. And for Koulibaly, making his MLS debut, made 25 appearances with Crown Legacy and MLS Next Pro this year. The former Mali under-17 international, played in the under-17 World Cup. So now Koulibaly will make his MLS debut late on here at Audi Fields.
Just goes to show all the good work that's done at Crown Legacy FC and MLS Next Pro to help get a player like Koulibaly ready to go to contribute to the first team. A big moment that is in the young professional's career to be able to get his full first team debut.
This is the third substitution window utilized as well, and now it'll be a set piece coming for DC United. Still looking for something late on in this game.
Here we go. The door's open because of the hard work to keep it at just 1-0 for Charlotte.
Hopkins delivers. The header played into the corner. Long run for it. And a throw will go Charlotte's way. Atlanta United look to bedevil LAFC's push for a top 4 finish when they travel to the City of Angels tomorrow for Sunday Night Soccer. Can Son Heung-min and Denny Bawaga lead LAFC to a 5th consecutive win, or will Atlanta spoil the party? Find out starting at 8 p.m. Eastern only on MLS Season Pass. 4 minutes of stoppage time to close this one out here at Audi Field. Last home match of the season for DC as Ream had to clean that one up. DC has been down to 9 men for an hour plus in this game. And yet Charlotte still just that 1 goal. It has not been convincing from Dean Smith's side. And yet they are in line for 3 points. It's Wilfried Zaha. Jabril Gianni. Chance to hit from distance. Toklamati. It was deflected. Corner kick number 13. A lot of credit to Jordan Farr coming into this game. Started last week, conceded 6 in his MLS debut, but is righted the ship really since coming in and done a pretty good job.
Yeah, adverse conditions to come into for Jordan Farr, and he's shown really well for himself this afternoon.
Zaha gets around Stroud. Zaha plays it infield. Abada on the turn. Abada down the line. Zaha cuts it back. Still dancing on the ball and eventually taken off it and cleared. And here's Stroud. DC getting numbers forward. It's a switch of play. It's too far for Caden Clark. And those 2 former New York Red Bull products not able to connect. At this point, who's trying to get to the finish line?
That's a good question. Both teams, for different reasons, right? DC United, they've defended like crazy, but Charlotte, they know that they haven't been able to be efficient to put a 2nd goal in, and DC 1 breakout away.
It's a breakout here for Charlotte. Zaha couldn't get it clean from Abada. Foul here, free kick to DC. And now they want to up the intensity to DC United.
At this point, Jordan Farr should just kick this, dare I say, as far as he can up the field and get everybody forward trying to pick up the 2nd pieces.
And those targets be Dominic Baji. Loaded forward. The initial header was won, but it's Kalina to come and claim it. 40 seconds or so to go. Long distribution into the path of Wilfried Zaha. Archie Goodwin will not get it. It's Abada instead. And Abada couldn't take it upfield. 1 more opportunity for DC. Down to 9 men. Final home match of the season. Stroud. Getting it out wide for Peltola. Stroud continuing his running. Stroud puts the cross up. This one towards the end line. It will stay in play. We're through the 4 minutes. DC will have 1 more chance. The cross comes in. It's dealt with by Gianni, and that is full time. And dare I say, Charlotte hold on for a 1-0 win against 9 men, DC United, here at Audi Field.
Charlotte would have signed up for this result at the beginning of the day, but by no means should Dean Smith be pleased with his side's performance today. Up 2 players over the course of an hour, and they end up walking away with a lower expected goal total than the host. Caused next to no real issues in the final third for the substitute goalkeeper, Jordan Farr. Charlotte limp across the line for 3 full points. DC show a lot of heart after 2 individual errors that cost them desperately. Charlotte always in the driver's seat to be able to pick up the 3 points, but my goodness. Not a lot of confidence will be gained from that match from Charlotte, in a match that they should have been able to put a lot of goals and a lot of confidence in the back pocket.
For Charlotte FC, a nice moment post-match between Zaha and Benteke as they trade shirts, the former Crystal Palace teammates. This is the player of the match. It is Wilfried Zaha, his goal, the difference today.
Zaha with a clinical finish. He's had a really good year, 9 goals, 10 assists now. Was one of the few players willing to run at DC United, and when he ran at DC United after going up 2 players, he gets a perfect set from Petkovic, and this is a training ground goal. You work on this thousands of times Sunday to Friday, so that way when you get to the Saturday, you can finish it off, get the game winner, and get the player of the match reward for it.
Well, be taken, no doubt, for Charlotte as it moves them up into 3rd spot in the Eastern Conference before the other matches tonight. We can also tell you Nashville on a 1-1 draw there at Stade Saputo. Full time here from DC. Charlotte wins it 1-0. Postgame starts next.
There's going to work, and then there's building a business with Business Platinum. There's nothing like having the backing to help keep your business booming, or working on the fly with the largest global airport lounge network. There's nothing like closing a deal with an unforgettable dinner and starting your work trip on a high note with the largest curated global hotel program while getting exceptional service worldwide.
Thank you so much.
With access to over $3,500 in business and travel value annually, there's nothing like Business Platinum.
I got something that you never heard. Sounds sweet like a dessert. Ice cold got you saying burn. Not the same, but you wish you were. Indie grind stepping, from a pole repping. Now pushing with the ops, I'm a little weapon. Slide, bounce, go and get down. Come on, do it now, do it proud, just bless yourself. Sound good for your health.
It doesn't matter how you get there, as long as you rep your club in style.
Lowe's knows running a home or business can add up fast. But with a free MyLowe's Rewards membership, your earnings add up fast too. Earn points toward MyLowe's money, get member-only deals, and free shipping. Join for free and get more with Lowe's.
I've been up all night. Sleep regression is hard. Oh no, he'd sleep through a rave. His dad and I made a counteroffer on a home. We were up all night plotting with our agent. I know, it's exciting. Exactly.
Of Audi electric performance is here. Built to outperform expectations. With sleek silhouettes, lightning fast charging, and innovative tech. This is electrifying performance.
At RBC Wealth Management, we know you have ideas for your future. Ideas that can have you taking more time off or putting more time in. They could mean more peace and quiet or more fun and games. Ideas you can drive or that drive you. From settling in to living it up, what ideas will you bring to life? Know more with RBC Wealth Management.
Full time from Washington, D.C., and these Charlotte fans, I guess you can say they're happy with the 3 points today. They'll throw those in the bank, and they'll head back to Bank of America Stadium on decision day and welcome in the Philadelphia Union. The match highlights are presented by the powerful backing of American Express. Take you through the highlights of this one between DC United, their final home match of the season, and Charlotte. This was right at the start, and DC nearly had a brilliant start.
Inches away for DC United. Kai Rolls doesn't know much about it. He's just turning, hitting, and hoping, and he nearly finds it going in off the post. Great play from cleanup. In the 21st minute, this is where it changes. inexcusable from the goalkeeper, Luis Barraza. He runs out, catches it outside of the box. It wasn't called in real time, but after video review, it goes the way of Charlotte. DC down to 10. They get the ensuing free kick. Cannot make anything of it, but then from there, this is where it goes from bad to worse for DC United. 30 minutes in, Aaron Herrera, your team is down a player already, and you just headbutt Wilfred Zaha right in the chest. It's always a red card. There's no argument to it. Now you're down to 9, and then after that, on the ensuing free kick, Zaha plays it in, Pekovic sets it brilliantly. It's a perfect layoff, a wonderful strike. Just moments prior, those two had a miscommunication where Pekovic turned. This time he sets it for Zaha, makes it 1-0, 33rd minute, up.
And as this game continued on, there would still be a few moments in it for DC United, even though they were down to 9.
From that moment, going down to 9 players, outcompeted Charlotte FC, which is inexcusable. They were able to create some chances, to be able to defend really well, but Charlotte, very, very poor today. They'll take the 3 points. That's the kind of game, if you're Dean Smith, you hope to never see these American Express highlights ever again of. It was that bad.
Now, in the end, Charlotte did have the higher expected goals than DC. It was DC that led in that department.
Correct, and that's inexcusable at that standard. DC were defending, they were parking the bus. You can tell that with 2/3 possession for Charlotte, but nonetheless, Charlotte need to be more clinical. They have to be sharper going into the playoffs.
Charlotte will have one more game to remedy this performance on Philadelphia on decision day, but we caught up with Tim Ream after the game in DC.
Yeah, obviously with the last 2 results, you know, after winning nine in a row, we needed a bounce back game, and we knew that, you know, only a win would put us back into a position that we wanted to be in come the playoffs. So huge 3 points. Obviously, like you said, it was ugly. But sometimes that's the way you have to win games.
He's right. You want to be able to win ugly games, but this was not a match that should have been ugly by any stretch of the imagination from Charlotte. So I appreciate the optimism from the leader. That's the mindset that the leader of the group should have, but even Tim Ream knew that was ugly and about as unconvincing of 3 points as Charlotte will pick up all season.
Yeah, he was looking for some words and some thoughts as he tried to explain himself after that game. Now, obviously, they will take the 3 points. They are right now in position to host in that first round, but still a couple of weeks to go. We'll come back and continue our post game after this. Charlotte wins it 1-0.
Beautiful, isn't it?
It's exquisite. I could never.
With Walmart's express delivery, you could, as fast as an hour.
Who knew? Who knew?
Interesting. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
Hey, did you just like a photo of me from 3 years ago?
Goldfish have short memories. Be like goldfish.
I didn't know you studied abroad.
Refresh your energy with zero sugar, essential vitamins, and proven ingredients. Celsius. Live fit.
At Continental Tire, passion is at the center of everything we do because it drives our relentless pursuit of excellence.
He drives the ball through. In the clear now. Hey!
To bring home the win.
Deja las celebraciones a los profesionales.
And we'll stick to tires. And tires.
At AT&T, we guarantee our network so you can mode.